So, today's topic is going to be about my journey with Christ, and we're going to have a little bit of fun. My interpretation of the Bible. The reason why I wanted to have this episode is because, for one, I have been on, guys, the most serious. Ooh, I take that back. I. mm, the tensions are at heart, but has been a little bit tough. I've been on in Jersey. My God, I have been on the journey with Christ, guys, because I'm not gonna lie, it's getting tough out here. It's to a point I need to turn to somebody, and if it ain't the Most High, who is gonna be? First things first, I want to. Let's see, where should we start? I'm thinking we should start with how it all happened. Okay, senior year. Senior year, I would want to say, was one of it started off as one of the best years of my life in high school, and it quickly, and when I say quickly, I mean very fastly, turned into the most horrible part of my life. Oh my golly. Oh my Lanta. Guys, start off good. I won homecoming queen and BSU president in the first 2 weeks, and I started to notice shit. This year is going to be busy, but at the time of my life, it was so much going on, and I placed it on myself. Ain't nobody I can blame but myself. I placed these issues on myself with the workload, the time management, the procrastination. So much I placed onto myself. So it was like I can't even point a finger at anybody because who set that system up? I did. So I'm super busy. I'm running 2 to 3 different clubs at the time. I'm planning a fashion show. I'm planning this. I'm planning that. I'm doing this. I have my graduation. I have my birthday party, my 18th birthday party. I had my prom to set up. Senior year was busy. And within that busy schedule, I found myself just being so, what's that word or the term that they use? I think it's a productive depression. I fell into it. It was atrocious, guys. I was just 9 times out of 10, if there was a picture or a video, you would just see me like it was so much on my mind at such a young age. I'm just like going throughout the days. It was like a system. I would leave the house at 6 a.m., go and not come back till like 11 p.m. because I was either busy. It was like school, practice, then work. School, practice, and work. Within those time frames, you also got to squeeze in clubs. You also got to squeeze in more sports. You also got to squeeze in social life. It was horrible. And I I'm not gonna lie, guys. I'm not the best person when it comes to failure. I am working on that now, but at the time, it was horrible. I had the worst relationship with failure. I had it in my mind that failure was not a thing, and I was not allowed to do so. And I just want to tell you guys this: if you don't leave here with anything, I pray that you leave here with this engraved in your mind. You have to have a healthy relationship with failure. It's only going to get worse if you don't see this as a learning, or that fail as a learning moment. It's only going to deteriorate your own mental health, and it'll make it so much worse that I don't even think you will understand until it hits you. It will make whatever situation, whatever issue, whatever relationship, whatever marriage, whatever friendship, it'll make it 10 times hard if you do not accept failure. A relationship with a person or anything, your job, with, like I said, friends, with your significant other, with yourself, it'll be so much hard if you do not accept failure. And why I say this is because around, I want to say, winter, around that time frame, I didn't get into states because how when you're playing track from where I'm from in Pennsylvania, it's ranks to it. It starts off with chestnuts, or in my district, it starts off with chestnuts, then it goes to districts, then it goes to states, then nationals, I think, and then yeah, and then international. I think that's how like the levels went, and I didn't make it into like states for indoor track. Indoor track didn't have a district; it was just chestnuts or states, and that's a pretty wide range. So when I didn't get into states, Lord have mercy. Guys, everything just plummeted. Everything just went downhill. That's when I feel like the mask of me being the funny friend or me being the entertainer in like my friendships or my relationships outside of school, I put on a mask. That if I could try to maneuver around this time frame, it would say I would say like that specific time frame is when that mask of me concealing how I truly felt came on, y'all. I remember I had took a nap and I woke up to the email of my coach saying, "Hey, we tried to like negotiate and stuff like that, but you just won't be making it to the indoor track states this year." Oh my god. Oh my god. I don't even guys, when I tell you I just got in my car and I feel like at this moment is where my relationship or my sorry. Hello? I feel like that is when my how do I say my connection or like my I want to say relationship, but it sounds so weird because I'm not in a but that's when my what's I can't find the words for it. But like I'm gonna just say it. My relationship with the weekend got very unhealthy because I felt like when listening to his music at that time specifically, I thought that damn, nobody else can relate to what I'm going through than this. You know what I mean? And growing up, I was always going to church and stuff like that. My family's very religious. During COVID, we did get knocked off the tracks with going to church like that. But I was that type of kid that's like, I know, like I thought I was so smart. I know my relationship with God. I don't need to go to church every Sunday. I don't need to read the Bible. I don't need to own one. God know where me and Him stand, guys. That was my mindset at the time. So obviously, when I go through this hardship, I'm thinking, shit, who can I turn to at this time? And that's when I heavily relied. Perfect. Perfect word. When I relied on the weekend's music and, like I stated, the relationship or my relying on this form of comfortability really got unhealthy. Because, guys, every time I was stressed, every time I was overwhelmed, every time I had anxiety, I would turn on the weekend. Every time I was happy, I would turn on the weekend. And I feel like that is when it got so that was so unhealthy. And I still very much love the weekend and I got the tattoos to prove it, but we're gonna get to that later. But his music, it ain't Christian music. You know what I mean? Like, you know, it ain't gospel. He's not doing anything wrong in my opinion. But if you know what the weekend type of music he put out, it wasn't the best thing I should be going in and out of my ear while I'm going through a hard time. And right around this time, I would say January ish is when Hurry Up Tomorrow dropped. And guys, at first I didn't like the album, but as I slowly started to maneuver through my senior year and listening to more of the songs, I started to correlate. And oh when I found out that I didn't go into indoor states for track, and I put on that song without a warning, it all went, oh, everything disintegrated. Everything was done. It was absolutely horrible. And I'm gonna keep using this word because, guys, I was crying to the song. I'm driving. I just wanted Chipotle. So after I find that news out, I'm driving to Chipotle. Without a warning, it's playing in the background. I'm crying. It's raining. I pull it to the Chipotle. The Chipotle is closed. Guys, the Chipotle is closed. It took every angel in heaven for me not to burn that bitch down. Oh, I was pissed. So you telling me I drove there hungry as heck because I just woke up, mind you, just woke up, drove there hungry as heck. I'm already sad. I'm already crying. I'm blasting the weekend, and you telling me Chipotle closed. Then I gotta drive back on an empty stomach, and I don't even want McDonald's, the heck, because the McDonald's was right around the corner. I don't even want it. Like, oh my gosh, I was like, at this point, I'm ready to beat the fucking baby the fuck up. Like, I was pissed. I was going through so much at that time, and I was pretty much in the mindset of, with my relationship with God, I'm thinking, yeah, like I'm gonna pray when I'm in a group setting or like when we're at like Thanksgiving and stuff like that. Was it like a relationship between me and God was not at that time built at all. And when I tell you guys, when I tell you guys, every time I would have like a failure or something would go wrong or not my way because I had severe control issues. Ask my friends, ask the people I was in groups with, ask the people I was doing sports with. I had severe control issues. And when I say control issues, is if it's not going, if I had something made up in my mind of how I want an event to go and it's not going that way, we got issues. I'm starting to get ticked off. Fix it. You know what I mean? And quick. So that going on, and I'm thinking in my head, like, if God really wants this relationship with me and he really is supposed to be the almighty and all high and the final source of where my happiness should come through, why isn't this going my way? You know what I mean? That's what I'm thinking at this time. Why can't, every time I thought I had a failure or something would go wrong, I would think that like God was like giving up on me, or he was like punishing me, and that would draw me farther away like from my religion. You know what I mean? And oh, that was a stupid way of thinking. It was a very in not intelligent way of speaking and thinking of how my relationship was with God at that time. And honestly, guys, I've lived, obviously, I've learned, but at the time it was, I wouldn't, yeah. I wouldn't I wouldn't support that now where I am. And that would keep happening throughout the school year. It'll be some mild success, and I'm still not satisfied with that. And it was just internal issues because I feel like I didn't have a good way of outputting it. I couldn't express my feelings at the same time to the people that are around me, and this is not their fault. I have amazing friends. I had amazing friends back home. I have, I like to think, yeah, we got some strict African parents, but you know what I mean? Like, I feel like my parents are approachable to talk to about an issue like this. I'm very more vocal about my mental health to them now than I was. But at the time, I was thinking to myself, I can't tell other people how I feel. You know what I mean? Because I'm not going to lie, guys, whole time I'd be dead serious, but people think that I'm funny. People think that I'm hilarious. Whole time I'd be dead serious. People think I'm funny. And I would see myself in these moments of when someone else was sad, I would feel the need to cheer them up. So when you're constantly doing that, and now people are used to you doing that, there's no room for you to feel sad. There's no time for you to sit and think about your own feelings, but you got to worry about what Chris, Sally, and Johannesburg is doing. You know what I mean? When you're all, when you're thinking about constantly about other people and how, if they're okay with this, if this is okay with their life, or this person's sad, this person's going through this, you don't have time to calculate what you got going on. And I can tell you now, majority of plus size people feel this way. Majority of mm, mm, I'm not gonna say it. I'm not gonna say it. I don't know how the word gonna take it right now. I don't know. But majority of people feel this way. If you are considered the funny friend, you do not have the time or space to take care of your own mental health because you're busy worried about somebody else. That's just the truth. That's not a gag. That's not a hot take. It's the truth. Like studies have proven this, babe. Don't make me whip out the freaking case studies. But yeah, so I'm going through all that. Obviously, I can't talk to anybody because I'm first of all, like I said, I'm running through all these clubs, running through all these sports and stuff like that. I'm taking care of my friends. I have this going on. I got this. I don't got time to be sad. That's something I kept saying. When people would ask me, "Oh, Letitia, are you okay?" I would be like, "Babe, I don't got time to be sad. Heck yeah, I'm fine." Like I would say that, and no, I was sad, like very much going through it. Literally. And I'm over here talking about some no, I'm okay, guys. Just for me to go home and cry. And I didn't have time to do that. Shit. Gotta run over here and do that. I haven't got time to cry. Like, what? So, all that's going on. And I remember, fast forward, I graduate. Summer's pretty mid, you know what I mean? Not too much. But everyone's going to college at this point. So, you're trying to figure out how you're gonna like involve yourself in so much stuff. I didn't get into one of my dream schools, so that's also whipping me. But I was pretty satisfied with where I was going, and I I'm moving from one state to another, so it's like it's a lot. I want to hang out with my friends, and right around the first week of college was about to start, guys, we're gonna get very vulnerable. I'm not gonna cry because like stated, we don't got the time. I'm just playing. Let it out if you need to, but I'm not going to right now. Guys, my mom goes into the hospital, and if you know anything about my situation or my lifestyle or like me in general, I'm very vocal about this. I would like to think my mom went into her new kidney that she just got, not even a good 5 years old or 3 years old of getting this kidney. Um, it stops working. And my mom is I get my strength from her and like my mentality from her. So she's the whole like hiding your pain and like focusing on everybody else instead of yourself. I get that from her. So she was doing that. And during that time, a little preview before my mom has gotten one kidney transplant. She was on a year of dialysis, got a kidney really fast. Super thankful for that and for that wonderful soul that did that. And guys, fast forward to what was going on 3 years later. My mom, her feet is getting really swollen. She's getting what's the word, like she's getting like her swollenness, like so much fluid is in her body and it's just sitting in her body. She was so uncomfortable, and she went to the hospital, and she was like not telling us what the doctors were saying. So I'm like, babe, this ain't the time to play. Like, come on. Like, I'm not even gonna lie, I'm getting irritated at this point. Like, bro, tell me like what's going on. And she's like trying to gatekeep what the doctors are telling her from me and my siblings because she doesn't want us to worry. Girl, come on. We gotta start planning for ahead. Let's go. Like, so she's a week, literally a week before I'm supposed to fly out to California to move into my dorm and prepare, which is like early August. She goes into the hospital, and I have to find out through like I have to force the information out of her. I'm like, girl, what is going on with you? And she's like, oh, they said that my kidney, the new kidney, isn't working right now, and it's like working at a 17%. I said 17%. Didn't we just purchase this? This ain't even passing the lemon law. Like what? Like didn't we just get this? And I'm like, how? She's like, it's sometimes in my head, I'm ready to go off. I'm not gonna lie. I'm thinking the doctor. I'm blaming the doctor. Okay, I'm like, How did you do this surgery for it to not work? And she was like, no, and it's not only that, but sometimes when you do the kidney, it not always connects rightly with the from like the donor kidney to the actual host, and it just wasn't doing what it had to do because it wasn't connecting with her body or something like that. Like I said, she was gatekeeper, so I had to piece all this information from out of her. And guys, guys, then while we're on the phone and she's telling me this, she goes, and it's leading to heart failure. Oh, cut the cameras. Cut the cam. Cut the cameras. Oh, oh, bro, what? So in my mind, as soon as she says like heart failure, I'm thinking death. That's it. That's it. Like it's gone. And obviously nobody want to think that about about their mother. You know what I mean? Like what? So I'm like, oh, okay. She says that. I'm like, okay. And it doesn't really process, like I said, but it was running through my mind right now is simply just death. So I'm like, what do I do? What do I do? What is going on? She and my dad and my brothers are supposed to fly out with me. I had to cancel my flight because I'm like, and then my mom at the same time, I'm trying to worry about all this. She's talking about some, she's telling my older brother over here in the corner about some, you know, if push comes to shove, just cremate me. I'm like, girl, not right now. Cause you finna play not right now. Please. Like, I'm not trying to hear that right now. I literally told her, every time she would try to bring it up, I'd be like, please. For real. Cause I'm not in the mood. Like, and I'm laughing, but guys, like I was dead serious. Like, find somebody else to play with right now, cause not right now. Um, so after hearing that, I remember guys, I remember me just being at total confusion. I did not know what to do at that time. And this is very much needed for you guys to understand because this is where we really start to get into where big God get involved. Okay? This is when the Almighty takes control. Okay? So I at the time also I was trying to get better with my religion, but I wasn't necessarily seeking it in a way of I need something to be done. I was more so seeking it because I was feeling guilty of how like the way I was living, you know what I mean? And I like that mindset of me and God and he know where I stand with him and stuff like that. That mindset, it started to click that it wasn't smart. Guys, I had my friend Kayla Shaw, shout out to you. I see you. My friend Kayla Shaw, I would have Bible studies with her and stuff like that. She was helping me, but like while she was helping me, she brought up how she had like a very vulnerable moment where she like needed God and like she just felt the presence and it was there. And then I'm scrolling on my phone the other day while I'm during this like while this is all happening, I'm like scrolling on my phone. Everybody talking about like how God came to them and he fixed this and he was right there. I felt the presence. I said, well, he didn't visit me yet. When he gonna make my round? I said, I'm still waiting for my for my little invitation, for my postcard. I'm still waiting. I haven't seen in my head. I'm thinking, I haven't seen this man since how long? He ain't come to me. So I'm like, yeah, I'm not going, y'all. Something ain't clicking. You saying he came to you, you saying he came to you, he ain't come to me yet. If 2 + 2 is 4 and 4 + 4 is 8, something ain't adding up. And I was like, well, I remember saying that to her. I was like, but he ain't come to me yet. Like when he gonna make his grand entrance? She's like, well, this is Kayla now talking to me. She's like, well, you know, some people get that presence and some people don't. Oh. I didn't know we had a naughty and nice list. I was like, oh, okay. I didn't know that. Like, this is all new to me. And something kept telling me that I needed to get out of California. Something kept saying it. Girl, go. Run for the hip. California. Oh my God, I'm so sorry. Pennsylvania. Something was telling me that I need to get out of Pennsylvania and go to California. That's why I was fighting so hard. That's why I was doing all this just to get out of that state. I'm like, I know for a fact as soon as I exit these borders of this state, everything is going to be better. And indeed, I was right. It was the week before I was supposed to fly out. I remember I was like, I need something was telling me you need to surrender yourself. Like you need to surrender. And I think the surrendering part was my pride. Like stated, we gonna get vulnerable, guys. And I'm gonna get down really down to the nitty gritty. Guys, I remember I was in my room. In my room. Chloe, which is my cat. Let me see. I don't have a picture, sorry. Chloe, which is my cat, she wasn't in the room. It was, which is really odd. She's always in there. But at that certain time, I was in my room. My LED lights weren't on. It was pitch black, and something just told me to surrender myself. I dropped down to my knees, and I kid you not, guys, I just started bawling my eyes out. Ugh, I just started crying. And if you know me, I feel like crying is the highest level of vulnerability that I can bring to the table. If I'm crying, you must know something is really moving me. like, like this is no game. I only allow myself to cry once a year, and so if I'm crying, you must know like this is hitting home. Okay, I'm crying. I'm in front of. I think I'm facing my mirror in my room. It was a full body mirror. I'm facing it, and I'm just on my knees and I'm crying at this point. I'm in like the downwards, like the yoga position of the downward dog, and I'm just like, I don't know what to do. I'm calling out to God. I don't know. Hopefully, my little brother wasn't listening because it could have been really scary from an outside point of view. You're like outside of my room door. All you hear is, "Lord, please help me!" Like that's all you hear, and I'm like full on crying. Like I don't care about the baddie aesthetic. I don't care about me looking cute. I don't care about me, my pride again. I surrendered it all. And I kept saying to myself, if it's really, because at the time I was like, do I leave my mom in the hospital right now? Like, am I going to look like as a bad, oh, I am so sorry. We will reschedule. I was thinking, I'm like, am I going to be a bad daughter if I leave my mom at this vulnerable state? And my mom is like telling me, she's like putting up a bold front. She's like, "Yeah, you should go." Because I asked her, "Do I go?" She goes, "Yeah, you should go. You should. If this is what you feel like you want to do, go ahead and do it." But then on the sideline, she's telling my brother and my cousins and my aunts to talk to me so I don't leave. Girl, pick a side. What you want me to do? And I would keep asking, I'm like, "Do you want me to leave? Do you want me to leave?" In my face, she's like, no, like you can leave. Like I don't like hold your life up for me. If you feel like you like, she's low key being smart, but she was like saying stuff like that. But then she like got my aunt from North Dakota to fly out to talk to me so I wouldn't leave. Guys, I kid you not. I'm gonna say like my Liberian accent. I would never do this in front of my friends, but like I kid you not, my aunt goes, Letitia, can you please take me to get some type of part for the Range Rover? I'm like, okay. We get in the car. I'm driving her around. We're driving this place. She gets off the phone because she was on the phone with one of my relatives. Sorry, guys. This is a you gotta follow me, camera. This is a story within a story within a story. We gonna all connect the dots, okay? So, my aunt in the car talking about some. So this California, you wanna go? You sure you wanna do this? I'm like, yeah, like I got this all planned out. Like if push comes to shove, if my parents said like they were low key against me going so far, my dad was a firm no. He really wanted me to go to Colombia because I had gotten in. He really wanted me to go there. And he's like, it's 2 hours. If something happens to you, I could drive there. I was like, no, I'm sorry, I'm not going there. So he was already in his got his panties in a bunch because of that. And my mom, obviously, like I said, was saying I should go, but telling other people. So I was like, like your mom's sick. You shouldn't be going and this far. California is expensive. That's all she said. And I'm like, girl, okay, and I know that. And she's like, no, California expensive. You sure you a menace out there? And I'm like, yeah, girl, you must not know. Big baller. Comfort on the hoodie. Hello. And what's the color? I was like, yeah, I got it like that, girl. I don't. But I was like, I got it like that. I can make it. And she's like, me, I only talk my own one time. I'm like, okay, okay, I'm going. And when she says that, she means like I'm not going to talk to you about this again. You got your mind made up. You go. So fast forward back to where I was at my lowest and I was surrendering myself. I kept asking God. I kept saying, "Do I go? Do I go? And if I should go, show me." I kept saying that. Show me if I should go. Show me. And if I should go, show me. I kept saying that over and over while surrendering myself. And guys, like stated, I what's the thing called? I had already canceled my flight because this was going on with my mom. I kid you not, right after surrendering myself and praying towards God to like be there with me, although I can't really say that I felt a presence, maybe he showed me that sign. The next day, I'm like, no, like I just lost out on a $600 ticket to California one way. I just lost out on that. Come on, because I had to cancel it because my mom was in the hospital. Guys, a random deposit, a random deposit of $500 went into my account. I was like, oh, okay. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Because if there is a way, there's a will. Okay. Oh, okay. Because if, oh, wait, no. I said it wrong. Because if there is a will, there's a way. Okay. Literally, I was like, all right. I guess I'll go. After receiving that. And that paid for my bags, that paid for my flight. And I scored on a really nice one-way ticket, direct flight from PHL to California for a decent price. I'm pretty sure it was under like $200 or something like that. It was way too good to be true or mess up on. And I was like, dang, he really did his big one. Like, he being the big God. I was like, dang, I gotta go now. Shit. I was like, damn, I really gotta go now. And as I'm like going through this, I talked to my mom about it and I told my parents, like, I think I'm gonna go. I have to go. I have to go. Like now I have no excuse. You know what I mean? If God has made this way, which out of no way, shape or form was this system built for me to end up in California, he made a way and I ended up in California. Moved into school, did what I had to do, you know what I mean? And I do have family members out here. They helped me a lot, like with everything. My aunt over here told my mom, like, it's okay. We'll take care of her when she comes over here. And they have done that. And yeah, like, he made a way. And at that, like, moment of him showing me himself and that he's really real, I was like, yeah, I got to step up my game praising this man. I got to step up my game. Okay. And that's when I was like, yeah, I gotta really lock in with this. Like, I can't be joking now. And my relationship with God has been it can make, like, I'm not gonna lie, it can be some improvements, but from where I've come from to where I'm at now, it's a big difference. Big difference. And an immaculate amount of improvement in my relationship with God. And for him to show me himself, that was all I needed. And me coming to this side of my like family, because my mom's side of the family is huge. Specifically, the West Coast people, I would want to say, Like they are very religion based. They are very connected to God. And when I came here and when we're having nightly devotions, when we're praying, when we're reading the Bible consistently, this is what I needed. Now I absolutely do not have an excuse not to serve him. He gave me the will and the way. He gave me the perfect platform and like you know what I mean? Like it's no excuse now. I gotta hold my end up of the deal. And I've been doing that. I've been sharing the gospel. I've been definitely continuing to work on myself. Now I have look at this sleek Bible, guys. I got it from Amazon. It's amazing. Like I read it and sometimes how I work my devotion in my room, which I now have in my dorm every night. And when I don't do it at night, I feel so guilty that I cannot devote myself for at least 5 minutes to the Lord for waking me up today, being grateful, you know what I mean? Being pleased, being way over my satisfaction need or way over what I need. I'm to the point that like I have basically everything that I want. And the fact that I can't even dedicate 5 minutes, and I'm speaking for myself, everybody got different schedules, but for me, when I can't even devote at least 5 minutes to this magical man, to God, to the Savior, I feel like, yeah, I feel really guilty. I'm not gonna lie. And how I run my devotions is like when I come in, I have a TV or my speaker in my dorm. I play 2 or 3 songs of gospel music. I have my gospel playlist and what's to call it? I listen to a couple of songs and I flip through my Bible like this. I usually close my eyes before I pray. I flip my Bible, and wherever my eyes leads, like lands on with the Bible, I read that verse. And I kid you not, guys, it has been every verse that I have like read has have like a connection with me or whatever I'm going through at that time that I'm reading that like part of the Bible. And I feel like that's just a way that me and God choose to communicate with each other, not only through prayer, but in like dedicating my time to reading the Bible. Um, with that being said, I will say I could definitely read it more. And like stated, there's always room for improvement. But where I'm at right now, I'm proud, but I'm not satisfied. If you know where that's from, please let me know. So I dedicate my time to doing that. I have my devotions and I anoint myself daily. Um, I'm very vocal about my religion and where I stand. And I've definitely, in my opinion, which I am still working on, I am definitely starting to remove myself from idolizing the weekend. Like I'm talking about, if you check my Apple Music, like replays, it's all the weekend for all 12 months for the past like what 4 or 5 years. And guys, the idolization, which is totally not his fault, all mine. The idolization was it just had to go. So I started to incorporate gospel music in times where I feel like, oh, I can just turn on the weekend or turn on what is it called, secular music. I'm like, yeah, I could jam onto some gospel music right now. I could slip this in, you know what I mean, or meet God halfway and like do what I got to do. And the idolization is definitely starting to move away. I will say and admit I do have 2 tattoos. I will explain it. I have I'm not sure if you guys can see it. Oh, hold on. I have my XO tattoo. Um, my XO tattoo is the weekend's like logo for his record label, and I got it facing me to remind me of the exact moment that I just explained to you guys. I got this tattoo facing me to show myself where I was and where and like how we can never go back there. Is I got this tattoo to specifically show me that, like, to always remind me, like, girl, this was your lowest, and we not making a U-turn. We can't afford it at all. Okay, so I definitely got this tattoo to remind myself that, and I got it on my 18th birthday, and obviously the weekend plays a part of him being my favorite artist, but like I said, that moment where like I started to put on that mask and I listened to the song Without a Warning, that's when I knew I had to get this tattoo. And then I have a tattoo on my collarbone. You may see on my social media at Letitia N White on Instagram. You may see on my social media I have a collarbone tattoo that says The Weeknd's album, which is Beauty Behind the Madness. All the chaos that I've been through in my life, all the issues, all the madness, there's beauty behind every single thing that I have done. Yeah, I have made like complaints. Yeah, I have been upset or irritated or look back and be or regret something, but in each and every moment like those, there is beauty behind it. That's why I got these two tattoos. And I hate the fact that people just look at the surface of it of, oh, you're a really big The Weeknd fan. No, this shit had to get built. Okay, like this shit like is more than just that. Trust me. But now that we have that story off to the side and already explained, and you guys know me on a very vulnerable level now, let's get into a little bit of my interpretation of the Bible. So I have not read the whole thing, and I'm still missing a bunch of books that I need to read. But starting, I do on my TV, guys. I think it's called Bible animations. I use those to break down each story of the book of like the Bible to me. So it's, and I'm a very visual learner. So it's like animations of like how, like, say example, the story of Job, or the like Genesis, like they talk about stuff like that. And guys, I kid you not, those really helped me. I would definitely say invest in that, or follow their or subscribe to their YouTube channel, because they have helped me a lot with interpreting the Bible, and just how I've come to interpret it. Starting off first, guys, I'm gonna say something really personal. I hope this is a safe space, but when I would hear Genesis, like I remember when we first got Chloe, my cat, my brother wanted to name her Genesis, and I'm like, what? She don't let know Genesis, and I would always hear it, and I would think that like it was just black people being very creative with names. I was thinking that, I was like, dang, that's really cool. Like we came up with Genesis. No, oh no, guys, that was not the case. But I did think that, and I was like, oh, this is why Genesis is very popular. And that's another thing with like the name Sinai. I didn't know that. Mount Sinai. I see what y'all doing. I see what y'all doing. And I hate the fact that like some names in the Bible have been deemed as like ghetto, or like from what I've seen, it has been deemed as ghetto. And if we want to, let's keep call a spade a spade. They're only calling it ghetto because obviously black people are doing it. So like names like Jeremiah, I was heard like someone told me that that was a ghetto name. Maybe that's in the Bible. Hello. Names like Malachi, like some people would deem that as like, it's really, y'all. I'm not making this up. I swear. People be thinking like, oh, this is a ghetto name, babe. No, it's in the Bible. Look. So, starting off with Genesis, if I was Adam, it would have took God, Jesus, and throwing a couple of angels to get me from off of Eve when she ate that apple. It would have took everybody to get me off of her neck. Cause what you mean you do the only thing he told you not to do? I don't get that. I cannot fathom it. It doesn't make sense to me, girl. He said don't do one thing. You got all this. Then the one thing that they ask of you not to do, you do it. Girl, girl, you tried it and you played. That's one. Another thing that I watched this new movie that came out of the Book of David, and it's a really, really good movie. It has an amazing soundtrack, and that really helped me to understand the story of David. I love it. Love it, love it, love it. Um, I'm going through a time right now, and I keep saying to my friends, I'm like, this is my David moment. My moment where everyone is against you because they don't understand what you're doing or why you're doing something. So everyone turns against you due to a, say, the way something's being introduced to them of you. Sorry, I'm like talking in very, I'm talking like the Riddler. I apologize. But I'm going through something similar of where people are against you, and I keep saying like this is my David moment. Like what is done in the dark will come to light, and I feel like sooner or later everybody's gonna see why I did something. Another thing in the book of Moses, guys, guys, for real, guys. And another thing, hold on. Uh oh, I did something wrong. Oh, I apologize. In the story of Moses, I, guys, I haven't read this yet, but I've watched movies and, like I said, I'm a visual learner. Watched movies and I'm not gonna lie, a common theme that I start to notice is that the Israelites piss me off. They really do. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Is this a safe space, guys? The Israelites piss me off. What do you mean? What do you mean? Like, I hate that when, like, say someone would, guys, 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 take that with a grain of salt. I'm not even going to explain. Just know that the Israelites pissed me off. We'll dive into that later on, but just know that they really blew me with everything that they were doing. But I will say that going back to the topic of my relationship with God, it's growing, it's getting better. I'm so beyond grateful for the patience, for the people around me, for getting and helping me with this, and for God with being patient with me. I just need to find my way. Sometimes your sheep steer the other way, you gotta pull them back. And I feel like that's what he was doing with me. And I will stand 10 toes wholeheartedly on this that God is real. He is everywhere. And don't think there's no issue too small for him to fix, renegotiate, or help you succeed in. There's nothing that he can't help you with that. And honestly, guys, it took me a while to understand that, and I'm happy that it took me a while because without those moments of hardships that led me on this journey, I would have never gotten to this place that I'm so happy that I'm at right now. And thank you for listening to this. It took high and lows, I know. And also, I I told y'all gonna have to walk with me with these story times. You gonna have to follow me because I'm not going yai, guys. Me telling a story, I gotta hold your hand with it because it's a story within a story within a story. Okay, but thank you guys so much for watching the next episode of Talks with T season 1. Can't wait to see you guys next Tuesday, and remember to turn up the volume and tune into the truth. Doses!